This is Paul.
Yeah.
hmm I downloaded a video or email
Yeah.
from one of my email accounts.
Yeah.
Yes, and I had emailed the civil rights coordinators in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Now, my sons were taken
Yeah.
from me without any due process,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought for sure
Yes.
that it does violate the International Hague Conventions.
Yes.
I didn't get an actual dissolution of marriage.
No.
And then there's the forgery on the protection order.
Mm.
Now, these other nations,
Yes.
they have to enforce your court orders.
Mm-hmm.
And not having a dissolution of marriage,
Right.
not getting any of the actual notices of the court hearings,
Yeah.
and then the possibility of there being, well, forgeries of the actual signature of Heidi Lee Budnick.
Yeah.
There's some liability on the part of those that are to support and defend the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mentioned that the housing available for those in the military,
Yeah.
the Section 8 housing,
Mm-hmm.
this was sent on April 15th of 2019.
Mm.
And I thought for sure that somebody was going to enforce the laws.
Yes.
Hmm. Now, these Hague Conventions,
Yeah.
hmm the Hague Convention of International Service of Court Orders,
Yes.
child support orders, protection orders, and dissolutions of marriage.
Yeah.
I really think that it's not enforceable in any nation of the world.
Mm.
Now, the other nations might find out about this,
Yeah.
and they have an obligation
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that the United States does enforce the Hague International Conventions.
Yeah.
Now, I emailed the Hague. Poop. I emailed them copies of it.
Yeah.
And those that are in the military,
Yes.
they can have Section 8 housing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for housing and urban development,
Yeah.
could you get me all the Section 8 housing
Yes.
and all the individuals that reside there?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm documenting the fraud of issuing 2 dissolutions of marriage without the jurisdiction of issuing 1 dissolution of marriage.
Yes.
Because I could not understand,
Yes.
when Heidi had been married twice before,
Mm-hmm.
why there were 2
Yes.
dissolutions of marriage in the state of Washington.
Yes.
See, she had a former husband named John C. Bosma. No, Bosma. Yeah, you can see that right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had a former husband named Timothy Hodges.
Yeah.
You can see that right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they each got assigned
Yes.
one certification of the dissolution of marriage.
Yeah.
Hmm. But for some reason, there were 2 of them for me,
Yes.
and I never got a dissolution of marriage. No, no, no. Mm-mm. Now, that caused me a great amount of concern last April because I thought for sure, as the respondent,
Yes.
that there was an obligation to make sure that I got notice of court hearings.
Yes.
And then I thought that you had to serve the respondent when issuing a dissolution of marriage.
Right.
And then I thought that you had to have the jurisdiction of the United Nations to be able to do that.
Yes, it does.
Now, I don't understand how you do this with her first husband.
Yes.
There was only 1 divorce certification issued from the state of Washington.
Mm.
Her second husband,
Yes.
there was 1 certification from the state of Washington.
Yes.
But for me, there were 2 certifications, and I never got the dissolution of marriage.
Pooch.
Now, let's say that I'm informing those that are civil rights coordinators
Yes.
that my sons were taken without me getting any notice of court hearings,
Right.
without me getting any actual dissolution of marriage.
Yes.
And then there's this Clallam County.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a reference number.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this reference number
Yes.
is for one of them,
Yeah.
but the reference number is different
Yes.
for this one.
Mm.
Now, could you get me the reference numbers of every divorce
Yes.
in the United States of America? See, if if I go to a foreign nation, Pope, and I go there, yep, and you say, well, you owe child support, and then you owe all of this in what's it called there, medical expenses, Pope. And I never got notice of court hearings. Yes. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, they sent it to a fictitious address. Yes. A fictitious name. Right now. I was wanting to sue this state and every state. Yes. Now, there's treason. Yeah. There's misprision of treason. Yes. Rebellion or insurrection. Oh. Seditious conspiracy, and then the advocating of the overthrow of the government. Yes. Registration of certain organizations, activity affecting the armed forces generally. Yes, I think it affects the armed forces. Yeah, I think it does. Now, if you could, yes, I'd like you to return my sons to me. Yeah. And then recruiting for service against the United States and the enlistment to serve against the United States. Yes, this is U.S. Code 18. Now, the equal protections of the law. When you refuse to enforce the equal protections of the law, yes, for every citizen